Daydreaming, which now, guys, is probably a little bit later than Daydreaming. Episode 23. Thank you guys for being on back over here. Goodness gracious, so much has been going on. So, let's recap you on yesterday. Yesterday, based on the fact that you're watching this now, should be Wednesday. Even though I don't know what time frame it is for you guys specifically, because I'm going to be trying to catch this up as fast as possible. Alright, so on Wednesday we started the whole project, right? You guys probably saw some of the footage on Instagram stories. Hopefully you caught that. For those of you who are following me on Snapchat, you might have seen a little bit on there as well. Okay, so got the whole room painted. That was excellent. Got the ceiling and everything done. Rearranged the room a lot so that way I could have more space. So it's going to be better for my guests, like I was telling you guys about in the last video. And I think it's going to be really good. We're going to be able to get better airflow. So even though I'm still probably going to sweat because I'm a fucking mess. I mean, let's be real here. Let's be really real here. I need it for everybody else because they don't want to sweat. Okay, so moving forward with that, Thursday, which you guys should be knowing, is today. Therefore, when you guys are watching, this will be on Friday. So, Bowling League. Bowling League is going on tonight. We're going for the championship, basically. So, we have a fallback situation. So, this is technically position round. So, depending on ourselves versus the second place team, depending on where we finish based off the total points, we'll either come in first or second place. You'd be like, oh, well, that sucks. Well, because we already won a third, actually 2/3, we automatically have a playoff spot. So we're already set for the playoffs in the sense that's supposed to be on the following week. But this league has a very unique and special rule where if you happen to win every single third, then you win the whole league. Almost like a reward for being that good for so long, which is kind of cool because I've never been in a league that's part of that. Normally, all you're trying to do is sneak into the playoffs, and then hopefully, when that one night or two nights, depending on how long, most bowling playoffs aren't very long, you are hoping just to perform on that one evening as best as possible. Well, for teams that have been bowling extremely well all season long, that could be very frustrating for having one poor night at the worst time possible. Well, obviously, we bowlers should not complain because NFL superstars have to deal with that when it comes to like the Super Bowl. It's only a one game event, yet it's high stakes for the winners and losers because most people don't remember the losers. All right. But guys, I'm stoked because we're going to have DOS Postman there, the Mustard Tiger's going to be there, my followers there, and our bowling coach as well. So it's going to be really cool because our bowling coach won't actually be able to be there next week because he's going to be gone to his son's graduation, which obviously he should be going to. Bowling is not as important as that, which is funny because he was telling us the week before how he's feeling bad about that and everything like that, but he knew he could tell us because we'd understand because he's been on other teams with other situations where they're like, what do you mean you're not going to be here for the playoffs? It's like, well, as much as you want to win, and if we pull off what we pull off for this league currently, we will win more money than we paid towards bowling, which would be nice. What you always hope to do at the end of the league is that did you win enough money to break even? So you could look at it as like a 3/4 of the year practice session where you can win awards and be at a high level competition. Therefore, the pressure's on. So hopefully you're getting multiple things, not just the muscle memory that you're working on, but also pressure situations and exposing yourself over and over to that, and hopefully you'll keep on getting better. So I hope we pull that off tonight. That'd be really cool to tell you guys about because I wanna win badly. So with that being said, though, there's still some more work that has to be done. We still need to. So that's the bowling thing. When it comes to this overall construction project, remodeling and all that kind of stuff, I still need to set up the other monitor that we had talked about before. If you guys remember that, also need to really, I need to figure out some of the green screen possibilities. So if you guys see some of the like it doesn't look quite right, I apologize. I'm trying to do this as best as possible with taking everything down, putting everything back up, taking everything down, putting everything back up, and yeah, that's kind of a pain in the butt. But there you go. That's kind of the situation. Moving forward, also the bulk die's been kicking ass still. We're still on point with that. I have not weighed in though for a while, and I won't even weigh until next Friday because I'm still going to be off for a few more days because of this project, and then going into the weekend, it's going to be pretty packed with stuff. So Monday is when I hope to get back to the gym. That'll be about a week and a half off. Hoping that's enough time for my body to heal. Again, back to the project. So need to improve the green screen. Also going to be looking for, I need to make sure to place that order for the new mouse. I forgot to do that still. We got the goal hit so long ago. It feels like, I think probably like a week and a half or 2 weeks ago that we hit the goal. So I need to do that because this thing is just falling apart. I can't even pull it up high enough because the cord's not long enough. Anyways, you guys get the point. It's a Death Adder that I used for League of Legends for way too long. And I clicked the shit out of it. Yeah. Well. You live and you learn. So, again, going into tomorrow and Friday, we're going to be working on those kinds of things. I'm going to try to bring to you Retro Fridays. I hope I can get done in time, guys. I don't know, because I'm also needing the help of others, because when it comes to these projects, thankfully, my family members have been so supportive. And that's why I tell you guys, there's sometimes you're just not going to have the skill sets, or you do not have the knowledge to then develop the skill set. For myself, I can do it. I can do this, this labor work. There's certain things I don't know, or is it the right way, or a lot of times I just troubleshoot. However, with this kind of stuff, it's not good to waste the money on test trials when you don't have to, if you can avoid it, right? Because you can't really do much with some of the parts if you didn't get the right parts and you started putting them in and you adjusted them and you tried to make them fit and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Throwing away money is no good. Anyways, back to the support system. Thankful to my family. So also, again, to their schedules and stuff too, I got to make it work around what they got going on, because they've been so helpful for myself to hopefully improve all of this, not just for me, but also for you guys too. Going to be rocking and rolling that with their schedule. Oh boy, you know me in scheduling. I always like to be able to get it done and get it done for certain. So guys, Zelda Link's Awakening is what we're trying to do for Retro Fridays. Hopefully you guys are able to catch it. Otherwise, if you don't catch it on Friday, make sure, if I happen to miss the stream on Friday, make sure to catch it on Saturday for Scare Me Saturdays, again, with guest host DOS Postman. We'll be playing Shadows 2 Perfidia, and depending on how fast we beat that game, hopefully we'll roll into Outlast 2. We'll see, though, as Shadows 2 is giving us quite some fits. Zelda, though, I'm really hopeful that we do beat it, because the sooner that we beat the game, as much as I love playing the game, then we get to roll into doing it for our speedrun practice, because I definitely going to be practicing on that for certain. I got to find out routes and everything. I'll need to study that, but I'm waiting to study the routes until I've gone through the casual play, the kind of a blind playthrough, because it's almost been 20 years since I played the game, so it's kind of like going back through it all over. It's like, oh, I recognize this, but wait, what do I do? I recognize this, but what do I do? But again, totally fun. But I have to wait for that. You guys know how I do. I with the blind playthroughs or semi-blind throughs, I try to do my best to fight it. Old school gaming. What do I do? I'm so freaking frustrated. And did you know? Fun fact: Nintendo had a helpline in regards to if you had a question for the game, you could get it answered if you just called that helpline. I mean, it was free, obviously. They'd first put you on that 1-800 call, and then you would state what your question was. Then they would transfer you, but then you'd get that message like, for every minute, da, 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 da. It's like, holy shit. So you try to be quick, but I was a kid. I remember calling for Link's Awakening, because it confused me. It wasn't quite like the other Zelda games I had played, because at that point in time, I'm trying to think what age I was. No, I had played Link, but Link was... You could go a lot of places with the wide map, which is Zelda 2. If you guys don't remember this, a lot of people didn't care for uh, Zelda 2 Link's Adventure, if I'm not mistaken, if that's the correct name. I'm pretty sure it is. Because the play style was completely different from the first one. Anyways, it was the first one was the bird's eye view over the top of you versus Link's is that side scroller. And then your only time your bird's eye view is if you're on the world map. But otherwise, when you actually did the real fighting in the game, you were the side scroller kind of play style. So, man, let's see if we can do it. Anyways, with that story, I called. I was all like, "Oh my god, what am I gonna do here? I need the help. I need." So I remember calling. I can't believe I actually called the helpline when it came to a Nintendo game. But that's what happens when you're like 12, 13 years old trying to play these games without any of the cheat guides or the YouTube videos that everyone's gone through, or like what the walkthroughs and like how everyone has it formatted perfectly. Okay, so this section here, okay, cool. That's easy to find. And okay, I can go here and do this and go here and do that. With that being said, guys, make sure to check out yesterday's video right here. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Dream on, dreamers!